I'm Brandy Sorensen,
I'm Tyler Johnston, Johnston Realty.
and today I thought we could talk about what you should look for in a real estate agent. What do you think?
Basically, it's just going to be somebody that you trust. I mean, there's so much information out there.
Today I thought we could talk about what you should look for in a real estate agent. What do you think?
And there's a lot of things to keep track of, a lot of things that you have to stay on top of throughout the process, and not even throughout the process of buying a home. Being educated on and able to help somebody with a buyer trying to find a loan and how to help them get through that process, because that's its own
Yep.
separate deal, and then you've got the transaction itself and all of the things that come with that. And so it's got to be just somebody that you feel is giving you all the information that you need, and being honest and upfront when things do come up or something does go wrong, because I don't care how many times you've bought and sold something. Every time you think something's going to be easy or there's not going to be an issue, something comes up. It always does. And 9 times out of 10, it seems worst case scenario, but it's not.
Yeah. So being with somebody who can see past the oh crap moments.
Yes, and there's many times when I'm working with somebody, you get to know the people because you're working with them. You're trying to help them, give them advice, and spending time with them, looking at homes, all these types of things, that you can say, okay, I need to tell them this, and I know it's either I need to tell them and let it process because it's stressful, or they're the type of people I can say, okay, this is what we're going to do right now because we have to fix this, and being able to minimize and provide solutions when those oh crap moments pop up and it seems like something's going to go completely wrong.
Right. Yeah. That's something that I don't think a lot of people think about real estate agents is they don't have all the answers, and they're only marketing and selling real estate. However, they have to have those connections or those, like, I don't know, but I know who to ask.
Exactly.
And so those resources are major.
And a lot of times there'll be things that'll pop up that we as the agents actually fix before you even know that it was an issue, because we've had the experience of going through these things and this has popped up, that has popped up. I had an issue pop up, and the inspector had called out mold on vinyl siding and said that the whole thing needed to be replaced. And what it actually was, it was a home in Douglas close to the railroad tracks. It wasn't mold. It was coal dust that had been blowing off of the trains and sticking to the siding. An alcohol wipe, Clorox wipe, rub it. It came right off. It wasn't mold. It was just coal dust that had been stuck. But somebody unfamiliar with the area, the inspector it does. It looked like mold. But how's mold growing on a vinyl siding outside in
Especially,
Wyoming?
I was going to say in our climate, but...
Right, so...
Yeah.
But that was something that the buyer was like, oh, what do we do? No, pressure wash the house. It's just, that's all it is. That's all we need to do.
Yeah.
So...
And if we have to test it and prove it, then it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I have a niece who's looking for an agent. She was looking to sell her and buy in another state, and she was asking me the same thing. And so I helped her find an agent. And I do suggest that you talk to a couple.
Sure.
Because even I found a couple, I can do the interviews or the vetting,
Right.
I guess, is how I like to help people. I will call and say, okay, what is your process? Of course, you can look on Google reviews and all of those kinds of things, but I think talking to the person, seeing what how many they've sold or how many they've bought sometimes helps. And looking at their reviews, but then talking to them. And okay, what's your process? How does this work? What what do you offer? How do you go about helping buy and sell at the same time? Really just talking to them helps you know. They might be just as good of agents, but one might click better.
It does come down to personality, because you're going to be working with them a lot, and you've got questions, and you want to be able to feel comfortable asking questions. And a lot of times, I've had people say, I don't think I'm stupid, but I'm like, no, you've never done this. So ask all the
Right.
questions that you have, because I want to get you all the information so that way you feel comfortable making the decision that you're doing, because it's a big commitment. You're
Yeah.
purchasing a house.
Yep.
You're selling a house. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
What do you think is an important quality for an agent when they're listing a home for sale?
Definitely two things, I think. Communication, being able to communicate why or how you can market the property and why you could market it this way. When we go over like a market analysis, it gives a range, and I think being able to communicate why that range and why I would suggest one side or the other, and what that means as far as, because it's not, real estate is not black and white. And I think just being able to communicate and understand, okay, if we market it at this price, it would go fast, or you could market it at another price and it would go a little bit slower, but you could get more. It just really depends. And I think communication is key. And then the other thing is really their marketing. Some people just go ahead and put it out on the MLS, which is one way of doing things. I think that that there are different marketing strategies, and which one do you feel fits the not just the person and the agent, but also I think different scenarios. Like this house, I would do this, and this. This, commercial building, I would do something completely different. What do you think about that?
I definitely think there's a lot of difference between the types of properties. Sometimes, you just get into a home, you can tell, it is what it is. This is the home. It's got the 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor. But is it going to be conveyed well via a 3D tour versus a video versus pictures versus is somebody actually just need to be able to stand in the home and look at it? So those are all great tools that we can use to market a property, but each one's going to be, dependent on the property itself. Sometimes people don't want certain things out there on the internet.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big things I ask, because do a lot of video, pictures, and posts on social media and stuff like that. Do you want your home marketed on social media? Here's the pros and the cons. You're the seller. These are your pros and cons for each and everything, and we offer you all of these things. But at the end of the day, it's your home. So what benefits you the most? What are you going to want done?
Yeah.
Because you have to listen to your clients, because that's who you're working for.
Yeah. I think especially in a small community like we have too, sometimes there's rooms or safes or that you don't want people knowing that you have, even if you are moving in the next little bit. And so those are definitely things that you can discuss with your agent, totally doable not to include that information publicly.
And it's something that, like safes and stuff like that. We're in Wyoming, there's a lot of gun safes, and it never really occurred to me. I bought my dad one, and I was moving it by myself, of course, because it's the way life. And I'm rolling it into the door onto a dolly to tip it on its side, and I posted a picture because I thought it was funny, and I posted it. And a friend of mine in Nebraska was like, "Hey,
you just announced that you've got."
I would announce that you've got this, especially where he's living alone. And I was like, oh, yeah. So after that, whenever I go into a home for sellers to do photos or video, I always ask, are you comfortable with the safe being in the pictures? If not, tell me, because we can work around it. We can come up with a solution.
Right.
But if you don't tell me, I
Right,
gotta
then
know.
we just have to guess.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you have any questions about a real estate agent, if you're looking for a real estate agent, we would be glad to meet with you. Give one of us a call or give us a text, and we would be happy to help you. If you're looking for another agent in another area, we can also help you with that as well, help you start the process, narrow it down to a couple, and help you find somebody that works for you.
For sure. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.